This is the Lumix S9, a pocket-sized full-frame camera that shoots 6K 3x2 open gate. You also have up to 14 stops of dynamic range in Vlog. You do have an amazing IBIS or in-body image stabilization. Yes, the camera this size has IBIS. You also have anamorphic mode, and you do have phase detection, autofocus, and a screen that works so well for content creator. What else can you ask for? In this video, I'll share with you guys my experience with the Lumix S9 from a cinematographer and the content creator's perspective, and we'll explore this camera performance and review all the features that make it stand out. And then I'll share with you guys all my findings and tell you who this camera is for, as most people are confused and complaining too much without understanding who the target audience for this camera is. I have been using it, and now let me share with you what I found out. The Lumix S9 is a full frame camera packed with features from the popular S5 Mark II. With all these amazing features, it's a very perfect camera for anyone who wants an easy to use camera body. First of all, let's talk about this camera unique selling point, which is its small size. You also have that 6K full frame sensor and resolution. We'll talk about those more in detail later, but for now, let's focus on the aesthetic, the design, and size. You will first notice how visually pleasing the Lumix S9 is. It comes in different color options, which is a very nice touch. When you hold it, the camera feels very premium and durable. It's comfortable in your hand, showing that much thought went into user experience when designing the camera. The thumb placement is particularly very well designed, making it easy to handle and operate. If you're a content creator who wants to get more depth, a larger field of view, or an upcoming DP or filmmaker who shoots small to medium budget projects looking for a compact yet powerful full frame mirrorless camera, you are going to lack everything that the Lumix S9 offers. The Lumix S9 features a full frame sensor which captures more light and detail compared to smaller resolution sensor. This is actually beneficial, especially when you get to low light situation, and give you the higher dynamic range, making your photo and video looks more professional. Also, for people that love depth in their video, full frame give you more of that professional look, especially when pairing with great lenses. The Lumix S9 offers a 24.2 megapixel CMOS sensor, offering rich details, natural tone, great color rendition, and a visual pleasing image that is more denser and richer than what you would get when you film with a Super 35 sensor. Higher megapixels mean more pixels are squeezed into the sensor, resulting in a sharper image. And the fact that this sensor gives you 6K, it also means it gives you the ability to downscale or downsample to your favorite resolution for a cleaner finish. The Lumix S9 delivers impressive 6K up to 30 frames per second in 10-bit 420. You can also capture cinema 4K up to 30 frames per second in 10-bit 422. Something that you need to know about this sensor is that it does not have a low pass filter, which means you actually get cleaner details than cameras that use a low pass filter. When it comes to this camera, it gives you so much flexibility when it comes to resolution, and honestly, you can choose anything from all these options depending on your production need. If you've used or familiar with the Lumix S5 II, almost everything is carried over, and honestly, this camera feels like a baby S5 Mark II. And for people that shoot slow motion, you can also shoot 4K up to 60 frames per second, but something that you need to know, there is a 1.5 crop in 4K 60, and all the recording options have a very good bitrate available, which is between 150 and 200 megabit per second, when you're shooting between 4K and 6K, which is actually very good in my opinion, because you get to have so much card space when using one card. I was surprised about this one. When I got my hand on this camera, I did not think Lumix was going to put all the anamorphic option that is in the S5 II in this small camera. Yes, you heard that right. You do have all the D-squeeze and image display option, and basically all the stabilization mode while shooting anamorphic. Everything is in here. Look how small this camera is, and it shoots anamorphic. That was actually very good to see. I've seen so many people complaining about this one feature, but please don't be that guy.
Due to a maximum recording time limit of only 15 minutes and the lack of a headphone jack, this camera does not hit the baseline that's required for any new video camera if you're going to use it for professional work.
But let me tell you, this camera gives you 6K open get. You also have IBIS on this size, a very good face detection, autofocus, vlog, and basically all the amazing features. And something that helped this camera from not overheating, it is recording time limit, and they do that because there is no a place to put a fan in this camera. It's also very affordable. So what you get when you're shooting 6K, it is 10 minutes, and when you're shooting 4K, you do have 15 minutes, and when you are shooting 1080, you do have 20 minutes. Honestly, I would rather have a camera that give me all these good options than give me a recording limit, because I can always work around that. So if they remove 6K open gate, they remove IBIS, and they remove all those amazing features, and they give you unlimited recording limits, would you rather want that than this beast that shoot all those things with a recording limit? Tell me a camera that costs like this one that have all these features for 1500. Away. The ability to shoot 6K open gate is something that you find in high-end cinema cameras such as the Arri Alexa, the Sony Venice, the Blackmagic full frame, and some of the Lumix cameras. And something that you need to know is that I'm shooting this video with the Red Helium 8K and doesn't have any open gate, so seeing that in this was a very good thing. But again, when you understand the target audience of this camera, which is content creator, you will understand why giving them access to the whole sensor readout, it is a very good idea, because basically you can just shoot in open gate and you can restructure your deliverable in the best way possible. You want to shoot vertical or horizontal, you can just crop and everyone go home happy. And one thing that I really want to see is more company adapting that. Sony, can you hear me? Because it would actually be a very good thing. One thing that I did like what Blackmagic did with their camera, first they didn't give open gate, but they say, hey, we can give you the ability to flip the camera and everything goes in vertical. But after they realized how much hassle that would be, now they are giving open gate in their new cameras, which is very good. Also, Lumix is putting that in the S9, making sure that you don't have to struggle when filming or repurposing your content. My first experience with the Lumix cameras was with the GH4, and honestly, from using the S9 and now testing the GH7, I've seen how they have improved their autofocus system, and I can tell you, using this camera, it is super fast and accurate. Also, it does work very well when shooting fast subject, or basically when you take the camera in different lighting environments. The S9 uses face detection autofocus, which is very precise, and you can track human, animal, cars, motorcycle, including eyes, face, and bodies. When I first saw this camera, I was very happy that they've given all these other features, and honestly, I scrolled to the ISO setting to see if they did compromise or not, because as a DP, you always want a camera that has a very good ISO range, and I can confirm the Lumix S9 has the dual native ISO, which is very useful, and you can select between low and high sensitivity mode. And in low sensitivity mode, you can access ISO from 650 up to 3200. And when testing this camera, 3200 is very usable, even though when you do have just small lighting in your scene. And when you feel like you really want to crank up your ISO, you can then go in your high sensitivity mode, when you can access ISO from 4000 to 25,600. And just know, when you hit ISO 6400, you actually start to see some noise, but there's nothing that DaVinci Resolve cannot fix. Just like the Lumix S5 II, I love how the S9 gives you the ability to choose between shutter speed and shutter angle. You might be used to shutter speed, and then you pick that, or you might be used to shutter angle, you can also pick that. Also, if you want to use this alongside any RED camera, ARRI, or any other motion picture cameras that use shutter angle, you are welcome to do that. If you show this camera to anyone and you tell them, do you think this camera has IBIS? They are more likely to say no, but hey, this small camera offer 5-axis dual image stabilization, which is very impressive. And when I was filming in York, I shot everything handheld and everything was very steady, which is very good for those people with shaky hands. I remember when I had the Sony a7S Mark II. That camera didn't really offer that many features, but people loved it that much. And I can imagine this camera being very important and a go-to camera to so many content creators that want great image quality, great color rendition, very good tone, and basically a camera that gives them everything that they want and need. And this is future-proof. One of the best features that this camera introduced in Lumix cameras is the hybrid zoom. Basically, think about this as a high quality digital zoom. So when this feature is on, let's say you do have a zoom lens and you're zooming in, the camera also does a very smooth and subtle digital zoom, allowing you to have more range from your zoom, which is very, very good. Also, if you're a Sony shooter, think about this as a clear image zoom, but very, very good. If you are one of those people that go to a show and you say, I want to be the first to post those content, picture or videos, then you are going to love the Lumix S9 and the introduction of real-time LUT. Basically, what this allows you to do is to apply your favorite color grading on the fly. And you can create this using Premiere Pro, Final Cut, DaVinci Resolve, or the Lumix Lab app. Basically, it does work in every color profile, not just Vlog, and you can still go in and tune them to your liking. So let's say you do have this look of your vlog, you can just have those presets loaded in the camera and you'll be able to do your magic. And let's say you're still snapping or filming, you can then send those content to the Lumix Lab app. You retouch them or refine them and upload them on the internet. So basically you could be shooting and uploading at the same time, and that's a very good thing about the Lumix Lab app, which is fantastic. Another thing that I do like about the Lumix Lab, because it's fast, it's intuitive, easy to use, and of course it's free. It's almost like having a professional editing app on your phone that helps you to basically tune or retouch your images before you send them on the internet. So that is my experience using the Lumix S9, and I've seen so many people complaining about this camera. Honestly, I did not have anything to say, and I feel like if you are a DP or an upcoming DP, you can do well with this camera. I'm currently planning to shoot like a spec ad with this camera. We actually wanted to shoot that and the model canceled, so that's why I had to go to York and get to try this camera, but please watch out for that video. I'm also going to be releasing the GH7 video, that will be here soon. So that is all for today. If you're new here, my name is Kashilembo, and on this channel we talk about filmmaking, gear review, and basically helping you to improve your visual storytelling. If that's what you're into, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notification bell icon so you don't miss when I post a video like this.